Over the last few videos, we've been designing a custom CPU and computer, emulator, and assembler. Last time, we wrote our first program in assembly. Our CPU is relatively simple in how it works, and it cannot do any advanced math. Today, I would like to write some code in assembly that can help with that. Also, hello. This is a new character instead of my usual face. I wanted to try a few new things and a new editing style. First, I would like to introduce an easier way to do some bit shifting. Right now, we can do what is called a rotate. Let's look at an example. This is an 8-bit number with our carry flag. Let's set our carry flag to 1, and we'll also set our first bit to 0. First bit to 1. When we do a rotate to the left, all of our bits move over to the left, with the carry bit moving into the first bit. Right now, we have a 0 in the carry flag, and the binary equivalent of 2 or 3 in our number. This is a built-in feature to our CPU. If we wanted to do a regular bit shift, we would not want the carry flag in place, and we'd want our input to be a 0 for that. This means that we'll have to clear that flag somehow. An easy way to do that is to do some sort of operation that will ensure that the carry flag will be set to 0 before doing a rotate. This will do our initial bit shift. Let's try to implement this in code. Here we're on our terminal. Last time we wrote a quick program that we can run and will print hi to the screen. Now that's simple and great, but we need to do some more advanced stuff. So let's get on to our math. If I go into my editor, we can look at our old program. We have an initialization, which sets up our stack and jumps to main. We include our I/O operations, and we do some basic math that prints. That's great. If we go over here, we can look at our io.s, which has our printchar function. Now, today we're doing a little bit of math, so let's create a new import. Let's include math.s. And we'll create that file. We'll write a quick comment, and we'll create our function. So let's first start with a shift right. We'll call this SHR for shift right, put a colon, and that is our label. So what do we need to do? We need to first set the main bit to 0. So let's add R0, R0, R0. What this is going to do is it's going to add 0 plus 0, which will have a carry of 0, and store it to nowhere, which will be useful for us. Then we can do a rotate right with our register. Let's say we do R1 and R1. And then after that, we'll need to return. So let's do a ret R26, which should return. So shift right, R1, register to shift. And since we're not modifying anything other than R1, we don't need to store or renew anything. Now, we'd want to do some sort of shift left as well. So let's also keep that. So I'm going to change this to SHL. And instead of rotating right, we are rotating left. Now, this should do our basic shifting. But to test this, we'll need to write some sort of program. So, hi output test. And then we'll need to do some sort of math test. So let's create a function called math shift test. And what we can do here is let's load into R1 the value 1. And let's load into R2. Let's load into R3, actually, some sort of character. Let's say 1. To test this, we can add into R2, R1, and R3, and we will call printchar. So this should do is, what is the name of this function? Call shift test. Okay, so this should add 1 and 1, which should print 2 at the screen and then return. So if we run this, we print a 2 before we print hi, which is perfect. What I'd like to do at the end of this is load into R2 some sort of new line. Oops. And then call print char. So if we do that, we're just printing 2 on a different line. Okay, so now we want to test this. So we have in R1 right now the value we want to rotate, which is perfect for our function. So if we call rotate left, which should duplicate our stuff, or shift left, we should get a different value. And this shift left should function correctly. I'm trying to think. Yeah, shift left should give us what we want, and we will do add R2, R1, R3, and then we'll call print char. What this should do is print 3, which does. And then to make sure shift right is working, we can call shift right and do the same thing. And I misspelled, so we do that, and 2, 3, 2, which is perfect. So this means that it's working, or working as well as it will. So that is pretty much all we wanted to test. So let's comment this up a bit. So test the shifting bits. And we are using R's 1, 2, and 3. So let's push and pop those. So if I come here, io.s, we will just use that as a reminder. So right, R30, R1, subtract R30, R30, R28. Let's do that with R2 and R3. Then if we go here, we can copy those. Instead of writing, we're going to read at the end. So that should be R3. This should be R2. And this should be R1. So if we test this, we do the same thing. Perfect. And this way we're not using anything that we don't need to use. So we'll group those together, comment this as reload used registers, and yep, reload used registers is fine. We can store used registers, and then we'll do our loading. We'll call it print char, so test printing, test shift left, test shift right, and then print new line. And that should be it. Here's our main function, so we'll do that. And going up here, you can test, and that should do it. And this keeps our old stuff. Cool. If we run make run, this should function exactly the same. Perfect. So this means that everything is working as intended. And we now have this new math utility. So if we want to do anything in the future, we can handle with that. Now we have some basic bit shifting, which will provide very useful for our next goals in the next episode. We'll work on how we can do some multiplication and division then. That's all the time I have for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!